Good morning. Welcome back to the Digital Ledger channel, everybody. I wanted to put a video together where we just literally cover the news over the last couple days and just get an overview of what has been happening. I feel like there's so much going on in so many different places. It's really hard to keep up with, and all of this is happening right now while the price of the entire market is absolutely getting crushed, right? So right now, just to go over the numbers really quickly here, Bitcoin is $9,200, almost even here, and then Ethereum sitting at 228. XRP in the fourth position now behind Tether is sitting at 17 cents. Bitcoin Cash at 223.08. And then we see ADA is actually up above BSV at 9 cents. And BSV is coming in at 155.81 and Litecoin at $41.42. Let's drill down on the XRP numbers just to see what we got here. Remember a few weeks ago, or actually about a week ago now, or just under a week, the total circulating supply came up about 190 billion. We are currently at 1.1 billion in 24-hour volume. We're up about 0.3% on that, and the total circulating supply now remains at 44,540,000,000 plus. Those are your numbers. Let's go ahead and get into these pieces of news and check out what we have here. Ripple's early investor SBI has taken $30 million stake in cryptocurrency institutional prime broker B2C Group. B2C will become SBI's main liquidity provider as SBI expands crypto offering to millions of existing clients. Now, I've said this before, but I'm going to just highlight this again here. You know, this is exciting to me because when we see actors in other places of the world moving into the crypto space and expanding into different industries with the technology and crypto, it's exciting to me because we know that we're waiting for the U.S. to provide clarity, classification, designation on different assets like XRP. And we have that in Japan. So that's exciting to me. So shout out to SBI on that. And also remember that we had the recent news that I want to cover again. SBI plans Japanese crypto asset fund. Half of that fund is in XRP, says its largest R3 investor. Now, that to me is exciting again because, you know, when the price is 17 cents, I'm seeing SBI as an early seed investor in Ripple and knowing that Yoshitaka Kitao has complete confidence in the asset and where it's going to go. And that to me is one of those, I look at that as a fundamental, or at least a signal of a fundamental happening, right? So very exciting stuff there. Let's keep this moving because I just want to do an overview on this video here so we catch up with all the little pieces of news that are actually coming out. Washington, D.C. lawyers can accept crypto as payment for service now. Now, that's pretty exciting, knowing that, hey, is it a big thing? No, it's a small thing, right? But these things normally trickle out, right? And the little bit of a, like test beds and little areas where you see more adoption and things of that nature. This is the stuff I like to see. Is there any big aha moment? Well, I mean, for me, like the SBI and the investment fund, with half of the fund being in XRP, that's a bit of an aha moment for me, and Japan as well, I think. So, okay, here's another cool moment here. World's biggest mining firm transacts first ore trade on the blockchain. Again, we're watching traditional companies. This is a traditional mining company, right? And they're now using blockchain to do their first trades. That is pretty exciting stuff. Okay, adoption. It comes in these ways, right? Again, you know, this surge, this tidal wave that we often speak of, well, this is it. This is the pressure of that building. This is how that looks. And it doesn't often look like some, you know, grand finale of the 4th of July, right? It looks like the beginning of that, where it just there's a firework here, there's a firework there. It's not really all jumping off unless you stand back and take a look at all this information. Now, I found this piece of information that's great because Grayscale by design, XRP is unlike many of its digital currency counterparts. How so? Learn more about XRP in our XRP Building Blocks report here. and you can download and get all the information that you and I are well aware of about XRP. I'm not going to run that down for you. But XRP and the underlying Ripple technology stack serve as a fast, inexpensive, and secure way to make payments across the world. You don't say. This is exciting to me because, one, I know for a fact that Grayscale and most of their investment fund products that they offer are basically outpacing the actual price of the asset at this point. That's how successful they've been. So Grayscale, again, in the same regard that SBI is pushing, the XRP as an investment here, knowing that it's 17 cent, right? It's lower than it has been in a while. If it goes lower, I don't know. I know what I do. It's not financial advice, but I try to buy the dips when I can. But the thing, again, that's exciting here is that you see these investment funds that are not shying away from where it is in the current condition of price reflection, right? In fact, they're trying to educate their customers and potential customer base on why it is still a great investment and why you want to have it in your portfolio. Now, again, not investment advice. Okay, let's see. Here's guys, Friday, as long as I know, I think we're going to be doing our Friday weekend review with Cryptopolis. It will be pre-recorded, but we will be doing that, I'm pretty sure. If it changes, I will let you know. The current issue of the Balance of Power is out, includes my market analysis, chart updates, watch list, and open positions. I would suggest you watch that video. Cryptopolis is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to investing and understanding trading and markets. Absolutely great stuff from him. Shout out to Cryptopolis. Here's a little piece that I want to play for you from Forecast News, and shout out to them. And exclusive, the value pool and value case is not for the central bank itself. It's for the ecosystem that is providing a service to, in many regards, says DB Treat on what the digital dollar brings to payments. Now, I want you to listen right here at the end what he says. This entire piece is very, very encouraging and positive, but listen to what he says throughout this.
I think they're already having the dialogue. I think they're already in with the thinking, and I think it's just now about having more of it and quickly getting to the stage of piloting, because I think that is also critically important. I think there's too much. There's only so far we can go with theory and paper and PowerPoint. We have to get to code and feel it, touch it, have it on your phone, learn from that experience in the real world in a very controlled, measured way. We got to get there quickly so that we start to learn. You only learn by doing. Absolutely. And so when do we see that? I'm hoping we see that very, very quickly. I think we've already seen it. I mean, in reality, if you look at what's been happening with many of the certainly core capital markets and banking infrastructure use cases, we've already been modeling the transformation by using an analog, whether it's a stable coin or just merely tokenizing value in pilot use cases or pre-production prototypes. We've already been building systems that are just waiting for the fiat central bank digital currency to be swapped in.
Did you hear that? This is what we've known all along, right? There's a lot more that has been done and tested and piloted without us even knowing. And he is acknowledging that there. That is David Treat from Accenture. Let's keep listening here. This is important.
Right. So if you look at, I think the great efforts of the utility settlement coin, now Finality, JPMC coin, the Project Jasper, Project Dubin Jasper, right? As the culmination of two central banks actually, directly exchanging, a tokenized fiat currency for the first time between, Canada and Singapore. There's a lot that's already started and underway around tokenization of money, tokenization of value, tokenization of securities, the exchange of the two. So we are seeing it already. The exciting part is to now be able to swap in the actual CBDC token for what we've been using so far.
Yeah. And did that sound like a lot of friction that Ripple could solve? Because it did to me. I mean, this is exciting stuff here. I mean, I'm going to get that last piece that he says here. This is just so exciting.
There's a lot that's already started and underway around tokenization of money, tokenization of value, tokenization of securities.
Tokenization of securities? He started this whole thing off talking about how they've really been piloting things with the central banks and the capital markets where they raise huge amounts of volumes of money for investments. Central banks, tokenization of securities? Really? Well, this gets interesting, guys. I have to tell you, you hear this kind of talk and you compare where we are today and just recently in the United States even, and you start saying, well, the digital dollar here, and we just heard the second round where Christian Carlo and all of them are making the plea, the call to action to get piloting, right? And you're wondering, where that's at really versus what we know. I feel like there's a huge gap between what we see in the Congress and moving towards things. And I don't mean that they're not doing things. I mean in what they're revealing to us or not. Comparatively to what David Treat has just said, they're way further along. And I'm pretty sure David Treat's got a good idea where they're at, working at Accenture, helping make all these things happen. This is boots on the ground talking right here, right? So this is a little bit of the Oz behind the curtain, I feel like. You're seeing that there has been an enormity of work and effort, money and investment and time that has been put into getting this done in all the things that we talk about, which, by the way, we speculate about because we very rarely get the hard fundamentals that we're looking for. But coming back to Congress, when we see these public hearings, I do believe that we're seeing a tempered version of what is deliberated, as Senator John Kennedy said, that the Senate is very good at deliberating. And that is all behind closed doors, correct? So I do feel like there's your gap, right? Somewhere in the middle of where David Treat is and somewhere in the middle where Congress is where I feel like we probably are. And that is a very good place. Okay, so let's keep this going because I want to cover a few other things too. But that is a great clip, and shout out to Forecast News on that. She did a great interview with him. Okay, $1 billion in escrow was just released with $800 million going back into escrow shortly after. View all past and future escrows here. Now, this is great just to understand that, $800 million returned back in. To me, it shows the stewardship of Ripple. It is in their best interest to keep this ecosystem healthy and growing. So that is very exciting. We'll keep an eye on that. Guys, did change the name of the Investment Perspectives channel. I'm getting the logos and all that stuff and the overlays put together for that soon. But the channel, Investment Perspectives, will now be called Digital Perspectives. So I think it's a little more appropriate for where we're going. And I just felt like I was going to change the name earlier in the year. But I feel like it lines up. And I also want to let you know, too, that I have a podcast out with over 200 of the 800 plus shows that I've done on YouTube. And you can get those on, I believe it's iTunes and the Google Play Store right now. If you just search Digital Perspectives or Brad Kimes, it will come up. So make sure to check out the podcast if you're riding and you can't watch. So here we go. Ripple Partner SBI, now a giant in crypto industry. Now, here's what I find interesting. Now? No, I'm pretty sure they have been, right? But anyway, it's a great article. I'm not going to take the time to read it to you because we're already looking at all the rest of this news. I want to cover a couple other things here. Let's see. Genesis Trading and Barry Silbert. And this was a great post by Free American Spirit here. Trading institutional and for digital assets, Genesis provides two-sided liquidity for buyers and sellers of digital assets and derivatives backed by proven technology and expert team of trading professionals. Complete large order rapidly and reliably. Work with our NYDFS bit licensed entity registered as a security broker dealer with the SEC and FINRA. Well, if you happen to know who that is, please put that in the comments below, because I don't, and I would love to know. And I don't want to say that I think it's Ripple, but hey, if you happen to know, just put it in the comments and we'll add it into a video and clean that up. Okay, shout out to Mr. BXRP. Definitely go give his channel a like and subscribe. It is very great post here that he reminds us we are halfway through the year of the digital asset. And I tell you, I remain positive, as I know he does, and everybody else too. So, okay, Office of Comptroller of Currencies solicits the public information comments on bank digital activities. Remember, Brian Brooks has told everyone he wants to release a federal charter, so we no longer, or these virtual asset providers don't have to go through the different 50 licenses for the 50 states. They can apply for a license through the federal charter. This sounds a lot to me with the current conversation in Congress and what Brian Brooks is working on, like a regulatory sandbox. Yeah, and that's important because check it out. We're going to go here, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. The U.S. is moving closer to the digital dollar. I think they're a lot closer than they even tell us, to be perfectly honest with you. The other thing I wanted to talk about here is, where is it? 1 second here. I'll find it here, guys. The other thing I wanted to tie that into, just 1 second. I know I have it here. Okay. Anyway, I can't see, I don't see the post here right now, but with the OCC putting together a pilot regulatory sandbox for cryptocurrency specifically, which has been a call to action now in the last 2 hearings of Congress. I feel like this is the step we need, because this is exactly the approach that was taken with the internet, right? And not saying it was done with the OCC back with the internet, but the point is that's the Office of Comptroller of Currency, right? So we need that regulatory sandbox that gives the freedom to the innovators in this space and the startups and the companies, so they can actually go out here and feel like, okay, I have an idea. I'm going to build this company, or I'm going to go to, try to provide this service or solve this pain point. And I don't have to look over my shoulder and think that the regulators are going to break through my door and everybody's going to arrest me and prosecute me for something, when I'm trying to do my best to stay within a confines of good faith, right? This is what we need to have. And somewhere in here, there was an article that I had here, and I'm trying to find it, where it basically, and I'll tell it to you if I can't find it, and basically what it was is that there was a number of patents, and the article was about the patents that had been put out. And the exciting news about that was simply that, here it is right here. U.S. firms for XRP Crypto Wolf. Yeah, U.S. firms had the most amount of blockchain patents since they've been awarded 39% of all blockchain patents. Alibaba leads the blockchain patent race in China, hitting 3,924 as of May 2020. This is exciting. Again, going back to what the optics look like to us with U.S. Congress, and how slow that may feel on the public hearings. There's a lot happening behind the scenes, and U.S. firms are not letting it stop them. They are leading and have the most amount of blockchain patents since they've been awarded 39% of all blockchain patents. The total number of patents worldwide continues to grow, with the 3,924 Alibaba's leading China. These are the things that I'm looking for. The U.S. firms are refusing to be discouraged. They don't want to go to another country. I mean, they will if they don't get what they need. But that's, again, comes back to the OCC and the federal charter that I was talking about. And that's what I wanted to tie it up with right there. This is the stuff where, like, there's drips and drabs coming out all over the place. And we've got to really try to take these little pieces to the puzzle and lay them on the table and not forget about them, because one day they'll end up fitting in the perfect spot and make a whole picture. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it right there, but that's a lot of different information that's coming out from a lot of different places, and it all feels extremely positive. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and if you're not a subscriber over to the Digital Perspectives channel, make sure you go over there and hit the like and subscribe as well. Share this with somebody you know. We'll catch you on the next one.